Hey everyone, welcome to Reddit Readout. Today we are checking out 2-sentence horror. Story 1. Ever since his mom left, my neighbor's son keeps leaving me notes with random marks on them. He has a bad habit of mispronouncing cryptozoology, but I told his dad about it and gave him the papers. Story 2. Hey dad, look at this giant green rock I found. Looking over at my kid, I saw the emu mere seconds after I recognized the egg. Yet I was still too late. Story 3. The devil laughed in my face as I screamed, why would God send me to hell when I was a good Christian my entire life? He sighed as he asked me, what made you think we were two different beings? Story 4. I miss the good old days when they would put the faces of missing children on milk cartons. It was like collecting trading cards, but now as I look at the box of little mummified fingers and toes, I suppose I'll settle for these trophies instead. Story 5. My daughter was having fun playing with her birthday balloon until it popped. When I came to, her blood-covered body made me realize my PTSD from the war has gone too far. Story 6. I hadn't worried when my dog wandered off because I had a tracking chip installed in his leg. My heart dropped when I arrived at the location, not to find my dog, but his severed leg, and a dwindling trail of blood. Story 7. My mother said she was going to peel the chicken for dinner. I didn't expect to hear it scream. Be the first to comment. Nobody's responded to this post yet. Add your thoughts and get the conversation going. Story 8. Despite a nagging gut feeling, my girlfriend and I relaxed in the long silence that came after 3 weeks of our newborn daughter's constant screaming and crying. It was only now, as my girlfriend crouched sobbing over the crib, that I dearly regretted not listening to that gut feeling. Story 9. Sometimes I thought the big stuffed animal I always cuddled with at night had a heartbeat, but I just brushed it off thinking that it had to be my own pulse vibrating through the cloth. But when I awoke to big furry paws choking me, I knew how wrong I had been. Story 10. I saw a thread coming off my band-aid, so I tried to pull it off. I learned the hard way what a exposed nerve looks like. Story 11. I swallowed the pills and relaxed, eagerly awaiting the effects, then received a call from my dealer in a panic. You haven't taken it yet, have you? Story 12. October announcement and September winners. Spooky season, y'all. Read up on our 3 strikes and you're out. Rule: trolling and sexualizing minors will typically get you a strike. If you've been cool for 60 days, hit us up and we can review and remove the strike for a clean slate. There are one and done, no tolerance permaban topics. Plagiarism. Not even once. Intentionally poor quality stories continue to flood the sub. As such, we will continue to permanently ban users submitting blatant troll posts. Report things. If you see a story you think breaks the sub rules, report the story/comment and it'll get in front of the mods. While we understand the temptation to use ChatGPT, one of our rules is that the stories you submit must be written by you. If we find you've been using ChatGPT to generate stories, the posts will be removed under Rule 5, be original. Friday the 13th has spawned one of the most classic horror franchises, and probably the most unforgivable movies in Jason X for real. Watch that trailer and cringe. Since Friday the 13th falls in October, why not use it for this month's prompt? Let's be a bit flexible though. This month's prompt is including a day of the week within your story: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. Yeah, you all know the days. Your story must include the name of one of the days of the week to enter the contest. Properly formatted September 2023 examples. OCT23 Tuesday was scary. This is the second sentence. OCT23 this is the first sentence. Monday is scary. Improperly formatted examples. October 23rd this tag isn't right, includes a space between month and year. Wednesday is overrated. In OCT23, I got the tag right, but it's not at the beginning. I also didn't mention the theme. October contest rules. The top 10 highest voted stories will be the winners. Winners can only place in the top 10 once. The highest of the entries will be their winner. Only net new stories will be allowed, no repurposing old stories you've previously submitted. Submissions that are improperly formatted, do not fit the theme, or break any of the existing sub-rules will be disqualified and removed. Max 3 stories per day is a general rule, and all 3 can be used towards the contest. Entries that are edited after submission may be disqualified. If you edit it to fix a typo, that should be fine. If you edit to fix formatting, language, or plot, it is up to the mod's discretion to remove. Winners will be decided by total community upvotes. In the unlikely event of a tie for the top spots, moderators will vote for a tiebreaker. Winners will receive first, second, and third places. You receive a custom personal flair of your choosing to show off to the TSH community. If you're a repeat winner, you can modify your flair. But that's it. And a cool fancy flair on your winning stories. 7 honorable mentions. Story links will be featured on next month's announcement. Contest ends on October 31, 2023 at 11:59 p.m. GMT. Any questions should be made below in the Story 13. It seemed odd to me that the hospital electrician seemed to spend so much screwing around with the wiring down in the morgue. It turned out he was screwing with more than the wiring. Story 14. The mother held the white balloon on top of her pregnant belly as I read the spell. I told her to be careful, but as soon as the balloon turned blue she dug her fingernails in excitement, and I heard 2 popping sound one after another. Story 15. As I was touching myself up in front of the mirror I feared that my makeup wasn't quite right. It was a different kind of fear when I leaned in close, and saw my reflection blink. Story 16. DEC-23 scans showed the benign mass in my brain slowly doubling in size over the years, but today's scan revealed it suddenly gone. As the doctor attempted to explain, all I could think about was the terrible pain in my nose last night, and the distinct sensation of something eventually crawling out and scuttling off. Story 17. The screech of the car's tires was deafening as I turned the steering wheel. So were the screams of my past angers as we left the road. Story 18. My parents showed no sorrow upon finding my hanging body. Hell is full, and I'll make sure one of them will take my place. Story 19. I thought the old refrigerator was the perfect place to hide. But as I feel for the latch in the darkness I realize my grave mistake. Story 20. I told the kidnapper I dropped off only half of the random because that's all I could afford. At the release point, I found only half of my daughter. Be the first to comment. Nobody's responded to this post yet. Add your thoughts and get the conversation going. Story 21. I sob gently as I kneel at my sister's grave wishing I was with her. The man whose gun rests against the back of my skull seems to hear this thought because the sound of my skull being shattered breaks the silent air. Be the first to comment. Nobody's responded to this post yet. Add your thoughts and get the conversation going. Story 22. NOV23 The soldier bobs with his hands on his head endlessly repeating I don't know, I don't know. It's been 2 days since I've been captured and jailed with him in the prison camp, and they're interrogating me tonight. Be the first to comment. Nobody's responded to this post yet. Add your thoughts and get the conversation going. Story 23. I love leaving my bed unmade before leaving anywhere. That is until the day I saw my crumpled blankets look more in the form of a human being. Be the first to comment. Nobody's responded to this post yet. Add your thoughts and get the conversation going. Story 24. A young boy was playing Rochambeau with his reflection. Not half a minute later, he complained to his mother that he kept losing. Be the first to comment. Nobody's responded to this post yet. Add your thoughts and get the conversation going. Story 25. My partner told me that due to her trauma she dissociates when she feels scared. I'm not able to stop remembering every moment together, wondering in which ones she wasn't herself. Story 26. I knew I should have locked the roof window of my car for my friends on the way back home from the party. A little drunk, we all underestimated how low the bridge around the corner really was. Story 27. Watching tornadoes is weirdly mesmerizing. I'm only confused about why it isn't moving. Story 28. I was putting in hours of exercise. Why can't I stop? Be the first to comment. Nobody's responded to this post yet. Add your thoughts and get the conversation going. Story 29. Brain implants were meant to pave the way for the future. It dawned on me that it wasn't to be our future when my body approved more surgery. Story 30. Like a fool, I refused to believe that human activity could have any meaningful effect on the environment. It turns out, in hindsight, that switching on the heat in my house would have prevented me from freezing to death. Be the first to comment. Nobody's responded to this post yet. Add your thoughts and get the conversation going. Story 31. My voice didn't shake when I told my patient that the mole on his leg was nothing to be concerned about. I was willing to violate my Hippocratic oath if it meant having one less scumbag with a swastika tattoo live among decent people. Story 32. You'll make it through this, it gets better, I promise, I told my 12-year-old self. As I walk through the passage back to the afterlife, I sigh and take one look at my wrists with deep gashes in them and keep on walking to my eternity. Story 33. My grandmother's fruitcake recipe said I needed 3 chopped dates. I had no problem luring the first 2 guys back to my apartment, but the guy I'm out with tonight seems too nice to chop up. Be the first to comment. Nobody's responded to this post yet. Add your thoughts and get the conversation going. Story 34. My wife keeps insisting we have more and more babies. I'm happy she's found a hobby she loves, but as I feel the lifeless little faces staring at me from the shelves, I wish she'd chosen something besides taxidermy. Story 35. I stare at the story and slowly recognize that the man arrested for multiple kidnappings of women and children is a customer of mine. He said he owned a nursing home when he regularly bought a variety of feeding tubes and syringes. Be the first to comment. Nobody's responded to this post yet. Add your thoughts and get the conversation going. Story 36. The previous owners said that the occasional creaking of the stairs at night was normal but nothing serious. It had only been a few weeks after moving in, but nobody had been sleeping well and we were finally about to pull up the footage from the camera we installed there yesterday. Be the first to comment. Nobody's responded to this post yet. Add your thoughts and get the conversation going. That's all for today. Please don't forget to like and subscribe.